All right, welcome back, YouTube. We are now in chapter 12 of Think and Grow Rich, the subconscious mind. This is the 11th step. Yeah, I read it every year. This is my 5th year in reading it because I like to read it at the beginning of the year to remind me that my mindset is what create the situations that I'm in, right? So here we go, the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind consists of a field of consciousness in which every impulse of thought that reaches the objective mind through any of the 5 senses is classified and recorded, and from which thoughts may be recalled or withdrawn as letters may be taken from a filing cabinet. It receives and files sense impressions or thoughts regardless of their nature. You may voluntarily plant in your subconscious mind any plan, thought, or purpose which you desire. The subconscious acts first on the dominating desires which have been mixed with emotional feelings such as fate. You want to pay attention to that because essentially what they're saying is even the negative things can be rooted in your subconscious mind. If you are always fearful of people, or let's say you're a woman, right? And you got, thank you for the 100. Let's say you are, oh, that's right. I gotta, sorry guys, give me 1 second. Lucky.
Good morning.
Good morning. What is your donkey of the day?
Oh, I missed donkey of the day today.
Oh, okay.
But today's donkey of the day for me goes to all the trolls. Y'all the real donkeys.
Yeah, you are. You really are.
Because y'all think, for me, I think y'all on top of the world, you're unstoppable and nobody can bring you down. But there's going to be that one person one day that's going to get you so good and you're going to realize what you did to others.
Facts. Rose said, me, I'm him. Thank you, Clarity.
That's cool.
He said, just let me loose.
You're free. Go.
He's coming for the trolls. Rose, you missed it. I had 4 trolls this morning. Where were you?
Right? He was still sleeping.
He was still sleeping. He said it. He said he was sleeping.
Yep, he couldn't get up early enough to come be a protector. Fired.
It's okay. I protected myself. Y'all go ahead and fave Lockout Band. She is part of CBG. She is with us for the positivity, and I like her midday. She does a midday rant and a morning rant. So go ahead and fave her. She's really cool, people. Yeah, I'm gonna finish this chapter, and then I'm gonna come into. I think hopefully I'll come into your room before you reach there. So
yeah, not happening. I started my live a little late, so probably by the time you finish reading, I might be pulling up. But cool.
Okay, got it.
Well, go ahead. I'll listen to it.
Okay.
It runs out.
The subconscious mind works day and night. Through a method of procedure unknown to man, the subconscious mind draws upon the forces of infinite intelligence for the power with which it voluntarily transmutes one's desires into their physical equivalent. What I was saying is that you got to be careful what you tell yourself because the subconscious mind records everything. So if you continuously tell yourself every day, I'm ugly, I'm ugly, I'm ugly, then eventually you're going to start to believe it because you plant that there. So that's why I tell people all the time, watch what you're thinking, because whatever you think on a regular basis, and that's why it's important who you surround yourself with. If you are somebody who surrounds yourself with a lot of negativity, that is going to embed in your subconscious mind, and it's just going to mess up your whole life. You know what I'm saying? Find people that are always uplifting. There's plenty of evidence to support the belief that the subconscious mind is the connecting link between the finite mind of man and infinite intelligence. It is the intermediary through which one may draw upon the forces of infinite intelligence at will. It alone contains the secret process by which mental impulses are modified and changed into their spiritual equivalent. So what they're saying is that we have the ability to communicate with source. And I say source because some people say God, some people say universe, some people say infinite intelligence through our subconscious mind. Okay? Thank you, Lockie. I'll see you later today. The possibilities of creative effort connected with the subconscious mind are stupendous. Did y'all hear that? The possibilities of creative effort connected with the subconscious mind are stupendous and imponderable. They inspire one with awe. I have never approached the discussion of the subconscious mind without a feeling of littleness and inferiority due to the fact that man's entire stock of knowledge on this subject is so limited. The very fact that the subconscious mind is the medium of communication between the thinking mind of man and infinite intelligence is of itself a thought which almost paralyzes your reason. After you have accepted as a reality the existence of the subconscious mind and understand its possibilities as a medium for transmuting your desires, you will understand the full significance of the instructions given in the chapter on desire. So basically, there was a chapter on desire, an earlier one, where they said that you have to have a burning desire. That's how you manifest things in your life. If you want to manifest wealth, it has to be a burning desire in your life to manifest wealth. That burning desire is transmuted to your subconscious mind, and that subconscious mind then communicates with infinite intelligence. If y'all are following me, put a 1 in the comments. Do you understand what I'm saying here? This is very important, guys. Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Clarity. Okay. You will now understand why you have been repeatedly asked to make your desires clear, write them, and understand the necessity of persistence in carrying out instructions. The 13 principles of this book are the stimuli with which you acquire the ability to reach and influence your subconscious mind. Do not become discouraged if you cannot do this upon the first attempt. Remember, Thomas Edison tried 10,000 times before he made the first light bulb. So if you first try to put these principles into your life and they don't work, hey, Miss Backwoods, if you try to put these principles into your work and they don't work, then you got to keep trying again and again and again. Okay? A good many statements in the chapters on fate and autosuggestion will be repeated here for the benefit of your subconscious mind. Remember, your subconscious mind functions voluntarily, whether you make any effort to influence it or not. This naturally suggests to you that thoughts of fear and poverty and all negative thoughts serve as stimuli to your subconscious mind, unless you master these impulses and give it more desirable food upon which it may feed. The subconscious mind will not remain idle. If you fail to plant desires in your subconscious mind, it will feed upon the thoughts which reach it as a result of your neglect. So if you're not actively every day focusing on your desires, you have an empty space in your mind. What is going to fill that empty space? The stimuli around you. Do you understand now? So thought impulses, both negative and positive, can reach the subconscious mind. That's why it's so important to keep focusing on your desires. You remember we talked about vision boards? You remember we talked about vision boards? We talked about meditation. We talked about writing down your desires, right? For the present, it is sufficient if you remember that you are living daily in the midst of all manner of thought impulses, which are reaching your subconscious mind without your knowledge. Some of these impulses are negative, some are positive. You are now engaged in trying to help shut off the flow of negative impulses and to aid in voluntarily influencing your subconscious mind through positive impulses of desire. When you achieve this, you will possess the key which unlocks the door to your subconscious mind. Everything which man creates begins in the form of a thought impulse. Man can create nothing which he does not first conceive in thought. If you want to be a millionaire, you got to start thinking about life as a millionaire. You got to start thinking about, what you would do with your millionaire money. Right? You got to think about it first. Grand Rising, Miss Pretty Young Thing. I'm nearly done with chapter 12, Think and Grow Rich. All thought impulses intended for transmutation into the physical, voluntarily planted in the subconscious mind, must pass through the imagination, and be mixed with faith. The mixing of faith with a plan or purpose intended for submission to the subconscious mind may be done only through the imagination. I speak it now. Uma is going to become that person that makes $200,000 a year. Yes, I am. I speak it. I believe it. I have faith that it's going to come true, and it will. So if you feel challenged enough, write in the comments what you desire for your life. Speak it into existence, and we're all going to hold it for you. All right. We're all going to put our love and blessings on it so that it can come true for you as well. All right. You now readily observe that voluntary use of the subconscious mind calls for coordination and application of all the principles. Ella Wheeler Wilcox gave evidence of her understanding of the power of the subconscious mind when she wrote, this is what she wrote: "You never can tell what a thought will do in bringing you hate or love. For thoughts are things, and their airy wings are swifter than carrier doves. They follow the law of the universe. Each thing creates its kind, and they speed o'er their track to bring you back whatever went out from your mind." Isn't that beautiful? There you go. You speak it, you got it. Boom. Miss Pretty says, "I desire peace and financial freedom. So be it, and so it is." Mrs. Wilcox understood the truth that thoughts which go out from your mind also embed themselves deeply in your subconscious mind, where they serve as a magnet, pattern, or blueprint by which the subconscious mind is influenced. So everything you're thinking and you're putting out into the universe, it's also being embedded inside. Oh, it's vintage. Girl, you changed your name. I don't click on the picture. Yes, it is vintage. Hey, vintage. Right? So everything you're thinking, you're putting out to the universe, it's not just going out to the universe, it's also coming into your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is more susceptible to influence by impulses of thought mixed with feeling or emotion than by those originating solely in the reasoning portion of the mind. There's so much evidence to prove this, that basically what they're telling you is that only emotionalized thoughts have any action influence upon the subconscious mind. So you have to have emotion with the thought. Okay? That's why I say to people, when people say, "I'm too emotional," no, you're not too emotional. You got the right mix to really create this life. It's what you're doing with your emotions. It's what you're doing with your emotions. Because if you're only too emotional and you're focusing on all the negative in life, switch that, flip that, and focus on the positive, because that emotion is what's needed. That's the secret in the recipe. You know what I'm saying? There are 7 major positive emotions and 7 major negative emotions. You want to guess? Do you want to guess what the positive emotions are and what the negative emotions are? Love is 1. Yes. So here's the 7. That's actually not one of them, believe it or not. I guess it's probably not a major positive emotion, but it's probably linked to one of these emotions. So here's the 7 major positive emotions: desire, faith, love, sex, enthusiasm, romance, and hope. There are other positive emotions, but these are the 7 most powerful and the ones most commonly used in creative effort. We talked about sex magic 2 days ago. Master these 7 emotions. They can only be mastered by use, and the other positive emotions will be at your command when you need them. Remember in this connection that you are studying a book which is intended to help you develop a money consciousness by filling your mind with positive emotions. So if you want to have a money consciousness, you got to be focusing on the positive emotions on a daily basis. If you fill your mind with negative emotions, thank you for the love bear. If you focus on negative emotions, then you're not going to be in a money consciousness mindset. So what are the negative ones? Fear, jealousy, hatred, revenge, greed, superstition, anger. Positive and negative emotions cannot occupy the mind at the same time. So if you find yourself thinking negatively, understand then that a positive emotion can't come in, okay? The presence of a single negative in your conscious mind is sufficient to destroy all chances of constructive aid in your subconscious mind. If you are an observing person, you must have noticed that most people resort to prayer only after everything else has failed. Why, Hershey Kane? Or else they pray by a ritual of meaningless words. And because it is a fact that most people who pray do so only after everything else has failed, they go to prayer with their minds filled with fear and doubt, which are the emotions the subconscious mind acts upon and passes on to infinite intelligence. Likewise, that is the emotion which infinite intelligence receives and acts upon. If you pray for a thing but have fear as you pray that you may not receive it or that your prayer will not be acted upon, your prayer will be in vain. Because why? Because you have the emotion of fear. Do you see that? So when you pray for something, that's why they say you got to pray with faith. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Prayer does sometimes result in the realization of that for which one prays. If you have ever had the experience of receiving that for which you prayed, go back to your memory and recall your actual state of mind while you were praying. And you will know for sure that the theory here is described as more than a theory. The time will come when the schools and educational institutions of the country will teach the science of prayer. Yeah, I'm very sorry about that. Anyways. When the time comes, no one will approach the universal mind in a state of fear, for the very good reason that there will be no such emotion as fear. Ignorance, superstition, and false teaching will disappear. We need superstition to disappear. There's so many people not living their lives out of fear of superstition. Okay, you too, Hershey Kane. Have a good day. Okay, and man will have attained his true status as a child of infinite intelligence. A few have already attained this blessing. If you believe this prophecy is far-fetched, take a look in retrospect. Less than 100 years ago, now remember, this was written in 1937, okay? So they said less than 100 years ago, men believed the lightning to be evidence of the wrath of God and feared it. Now listen to this. That's true. At that time, if they saw lightning, they believed that there was a God in the sky that was angry, and lightning was the wrath of God. Now, thanks to the power of fate, men have harnessed the lightning and made it turn the wheels of industry. Much less than 100 years ago, men believed the space between the planets to be nothing but a great void, a stretch of dead nothingness. Now, thanks to the same power of fate, men know that far from being either dead or a void, the space between planets is alive. And it is the highest form of vibration known, excepting perhaps the vibration of thought. So that's why it's so important that you got to, when people say things to me that I know not to be true, I don't battle it and I don't challenge it just because that might be their superstition. We're finishing, I've just a couple more paragraphs of chapter 12 of Think and Grow Rich. And that's why I don't live in superstition. Because, especially in the metaphysical community, everybody's like, oh, I need my crystal. Oh, I need this. No, you don't need anything. They're nice to have. They're pretty to look at. They do help your vibration, but you don't need it. What you need is a good thought pattern is what you need. You need positive thoughts. The positive thoughts create your reality, and your reality becomes your manifestation of thought. Isn't that amazing? There are no, so last few paragraphs. There are no toll gates between the finite mind of man and infinite intelligence. The communication costs nothing except, okay, here's what it costs. Y'all want to know? You want to know what the cost is to communicate to infinite intelligence? You ready for this? You want the secret? Here's the secret. You have to pay, right? Between your mind and infinite intelligence, here's what you have to pay. Hey, Steve, here's what you have to pay. You have to pay patience, faith, thanks, Ron, persistence, understanding, and a sincere desire to communicate. That's the 5. What is the payment? The communication between you and infinite intelligence. You have to pay with patience, faith, persistence, understanding, and a sincere desire to communicate. That's it. Moreover, the approach can be made only by the individual himself. Paid prayers are worthless. Infinite intelligence does no business by proxy. You either go direct or you do not communicate. Now you have to understand something. That was a powerful statement that he made in 1937, because at that time, religion still had a very strong hold on communities. And when you look at religion that's saying you can't get to God unless you see this holy person, whoever the holy person be, according to the religious path, he was making big statements there. Do you understand? He was making big statements there. You can buy prayer books and repeat them until the day of your doom without avail. Thoughts which you wish to communicate to infinite intelligence must undergo transformation, such as can be given only through your own subconscious mind. If you understand the working of a radio, you then know that sound cannot be communicated through the ether until it has been stepped up or changed into a rate of vibration which the human ear cannot detect. The radio sending station picks up the sound of the human voice and scrambles or modifies it by stepping up the vibration millions of times. Only in this way can the vibration of sound be communicated through the ether. After this transformation has taken place, the ether picks up the energy, which originally was in the form of vibrations of sound, carries that energy to radio receiving stations, and these receiving sets step that energy back down to its original rate. Wow. The subconscious mind is the intermediary which translates your prayers into terms which infinite intelligence can recognize. Understand this principle and you will know why mere words reading from a prayer book cannot and will never serve as an agency of communication. You got to have emotion with it. You got to have your belief in it. You got to have your desire in it. You got to have faith in it. It's not just saying the words. You got to say it with some feeling. Before your prayer reaches infinite intelligence, a statement of the author's theory only, it probably is transformed from its original thought vibration into terms of spiritual vibration. Faith is the only known agency which will give your thoughts a spiritual nature. Faith and fear make poor bedfellows. Where one is found, the other cannot exist. That ends chapter 12 of Think and Grow Rich.